Orion, who would have thought that night after beating Hungary, it would be 10 months before you'd be actually naming a squad. You must be, as a coach, as a manager, desperate to get out there and work with the players again, and you must be, this must be great for you that you're actually talking about football now and not everything else that's been going on.
Yeah, you're right. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the players and get out onto the pitch, and all the staff feel the same way. It's been a long time since that brilliant night in Cardiff. So we're raring to go. A few old faces and a few new faces. So again, exciting times, but ultimately 2 games which we want to win.
Was it difficult choosing a squad this time? Because I suppose there's a lot of considerations to be made that maybe 12 months ago or even 6 or 7 months ago you might not have been making. It's as if you're planning ahead, having not gone to the Euros in a way. You're planning for you would now be planning for a World Cup campaign maybe, but you've still got the Euros next year. So it's a odd situation to be in. Yeah,
it is. I mean, but I always look at the positives. We've got a few players now who are a year older, and a year is a long time in the international football. We've seen that in the short space of time that I've been manager. The turnover of players and the players that catch the eye, that are in good form. But it's different because obviously it's before the season starts. But one eye on these 2 games, but obviously an eye on the summer, and trying to mould a team to be competitive when the Euros come around again.
In terms of just looking at the squad, just to pick out a few standouts really, I mean, a lot of the familiar names are there, but a familiar name, but who didn't feature in the last qualifiers, but of course iconic status with Welsh fans because of Euro 2016 is Hal Robson-Kanu. You've brought him back into the squad.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I had a chat just after I took over with Hal, and he didn't want to be considered for selection, but I never closed the door, and he didn't. He said, who knows what happens in the future, and obviously over the last year he's been in good form with West Brom, and I had a chat with him, let me get my bearings right, about 5 or 6 months ago before the March games, and was thinking about bringing him back then. So yeah, it's great. Obviously he did great in 2016, and he's a player, like I say, who's been in good form, so it'd be good to actually get to work with him and see what he can do.
And you also got 2 of the older, should we say, stages in the game in terms of the Welsh caps, and been around for a few years, Chris Gunter and Ashley Williams, still looking for clubs, but no hesitation. You've seen what they can do for you in the past.
No, I mean, I think it's obviously a plus if you bring players in who have been through the process over the last couple of years, who know how I work, and also bringing new faces in as well. So I've always said about striking that balance and that mixture of youth and experience, and again, feel that we have got that. We've got new blood coming in, but also the older players or the more experienced players who know how I work and can help them younger players when they do come into the squad.
We saw what happened in the last campaign with someone like Joe Morrell. In this squad now, obviously you've included the likes of Dylan Levitt previously, Neco Williams from Liverpool, and Ben Cabango from Swansea are in. Yeah,
2 names who have benefited from the cancellation of Euro 2020, and these younger players are now a year older, and obviously Neco Williams has caught the eye. He's playing for a big club like Liverpool, and Ben Cabango as well, who's done really well for Swansea. I went to watch him against Brentford. He came on at half-time and did really well. So someone who we've had an eye on, but someone who is ready now to be a part of the squad. And again, just like Hal, I'm looking forward to working with them for the first time.
And in terms of some of the players, thinking of some of the, maybe a couple of the keepers, someone like Gareth, haven't been playing that much recently. Is that a concern for you, or is that something you just focus on? Look, this is what they do at international level. You're not too bothered about what happens at the club.
No, I mean, I've always said ideally you want the players playing. You want them playing regularly, so when they come into camp, they're in that match rhythm. You don't always get that, and it's something that I've become sort of used to, really, and you have to just manage it right. You know, for example, Gareth, he played every game in the qualifiers, but obviously wasn't playing regular for his club. Wayne was sometimes playing, sometimes not. So yeah, I mean, I'm used to dealing with that situation, and that's where a lot of preparation, a lot of work from myself and the staff has to go down before we meet up to see what minutes the players have played, and, you know, getting that selection right. So who can play 90 minutes, who can knock off 2 games, and the ones that maybe you have to manage in a different way.
And just finally, obviously as the coach and management team, you have to prepare training and everything. This time there's a lot more to think about in terms of guidelines, protocols, what you can't do, what you can do. A lot of people travelling for the first time maybe when we go to Finland, the atmosphere around the hotel, and of course no crowds. It's going to be, it might take time to get used to this. And trying to win a game. Yeah, it might take time to get used to this one.
Yeah, and again, I always say, you know, the preparation has got to be spot on, and even more so now, you know, with the social distancing and everything that we have to do to make it a safe environment for the players and for the staff, and give us that platform to go out and train. You know, and everything has to be considered. You know, the eating, the travelling, you know, the situation with the rooms. So these are all things that the medical staff and the staff in general have been hard at work making sure that we get everything right. And we want to give everything, we want to make sure that everything is right too. Like I say, give us that platform on what we want to achieve, which is, you know, training well and then playing games and winning games.
That's great. Thanks, Ryan. All the best.
Cheers.